Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us out there. Right here from Rensselaer City School District, we have Chris Johnson. He is actually a social media specialist on mental health for children, and this happens to be possibly, we're saying, the superintendent, Joe Kardash, is here right now. He is saying that most likely this is the first type of therapist of its kind here in the Capital Region. Why do you think this job is necessary, Chris?
I mean, we're seeing it everywhere. Everywhere you look in the school, heads are down looking at phones, right? And I mean, what we're seeing as families, what we're seeing as educators, we know that there's such a big focus on mental health in general, and social media we look at both as the cause a lot of the time, but I think it's also interesting to look at as the symptom of other mental health issues, and it's become so important because it's a 10-headed beast, and which one are you looking at for this specific student or for our community?
It's kind of like a chicken or the egg situation, right?
Right. Yeah. You know, for some students, they might have anxiety, depression, some mental health issue, and the phone becomes a way to avoid, right? Rather than dealing or processing with your anxiety or being able to get through something that's maybe a little boring sometimes, the phone is such an attractive way to skip over that point and skip over that moment in your life when, you know, what I try to do when I speak to students, or especially with my curriculum, is give opportunities for alternatives. What are some techniques, some positive coping skills we can use to work through those tough times?
And when it comes to, we were just talking about scrolling, and this is adults too. We do it constantly when we wake up in the morning, when we go to bed, and the kids are doing the same thing. What are you seeing when it comes to body image issues or comparison? How is that impacting self-confidence?
Yeah, I mean, body image issues are older than social media, but at the same time, it gives you a non-stop feed, a non-stop ability to continually compare yourself. And, you know, with some of the lessons that I do with kids, I try to bring self-reflection back into intent, back into using your phone. So that feeling of, I just lost 2 hours on TikTok. I don't know where I started. I don't know where I ended, but I feel worse now. Being able to take a step back, self-reflect on what you watched, what made you feel worse about it, and then maybe trying to change the way that you're using your phone to something more positive.
Now, when it comes to something you might recommend for parents, but also the children alike, what are boundaries that we think we can create around those phones, those objects?
I mean, there are so many different ways. You've maybe heard things about keeping phones out of the bedroom at night, or at least not right in your arm's reach. One thing I've recommended is maybe having a place right in the kitchen where all the chargers are. So it's time to go to bed. If you want your phone to be charged for the morning so you have it, you have to leave it in the kitchen, plugged in. It's hard not to want to go to your phone. You feel it all the time, like I said, when you're feeling anxious, bored, whatever. But if it's not there, if you change your environment, it's really hard to keep that habit going.
Now, this is my last question for you. In the Rensselaer City School District, you have this specialty job when it comes to social media. What are we thinking when it comes to, you're at that school right now, what are you trying to put into place, if that makes sense, maybe district-wide even, when it comes to rules?
Yeah, well, you know, we just started our new rule this school year about keeping phones in the front of the classroom. That way kids don't have that first feeling of, I'm feeling bored, I'm feeling anxious, I want to pull out my phone. But also just in terms of what I'm trying to implement with my curriculum, this year I'll be reaching students from 5th grade through 11th grade. So those kids that are just getting their first chance to use a cell phone, we want to be preventative. Right now, you know, we're still helping kids that are already in the midst of it, but hopefully as younger kids are starting to use their phones, they can do so with a little bit of a leg up.
Stop things at the stores. That's the goal.
Right.
Thank you so much for joining us, Chris. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.